welcome to Bella's Crochet Gifts. I'm Bella. Alright, so today I have my wrap up for the last month and this current month for the different make-alongs that I am currently participating in. So first off, I have my birthstone squares for Litsa's, I guess it is a cowl, because you can do crochet knit. So it is a project based on the color of the birthstone for each month, and it is a year-long make-along. And so for July, the birthstone was Ruby, and I have my square done. There we go. So that is for Ruby. And then I have my square done for August, and this is the closest to peridot that I could come in my collection. It is not a very common color for me, so that's what we have. So there we go. And then I'm also participating in the book cover inspiration that is being hosted by Rosanna at Crochet with Nana Rosanna. And this one is for the book Knight in Shining Armor by Jude Devereaux. And I have the picture. And here is my square. So I did the red for the flowers, and then this variegated with kind of a gray taupe yellowy color for the buildings and the lawn around it. So I thought that was pretty good. And then for the month of August, oh, I have some tails I need to sew in. I thought I got them all. Guess not. This is the book Codename Variety, and it's by Elizabeth Ween. So here's the cover, and here's my square. Yes, I decided to reuse the red and reuse the green. And then I think this blue was left over from my Frankenstein blanket, my Bride of Frankenstein blanket. So that's my square. And then I've been participating in all of Carrie Penny from the Happy Crafty Homemakers make-alongs, and for July it was the one skein project, and I used one skein of Momenti, which I just had it. Here we go. Here we go. The Momenti from Premier. I can't remember if this is discontinued or not, but it was 58% cotton and 42% acrylic, and I used the entire cake, and it was 437 yards, 400 meters, because it was 7 ounces and 200 grams. So I really like this pattern. So this was it is another Annie Design Crochet. I've made a lot of their one skein projects. This was called Free Crochet Neck Scarf Pattern. So yeah, but it was super easy. I love how it turned out. You make it from the bottom up, and so you just kind of go until you run out of yarn, and it's so very nice. This yarn is light and airy. I love how it turned out. It's just such a nice, such a nice fabric. I think it's so squishy, and it was so fun to work with. I really enjoyed it. I wish I had known sooner. I could have gotten more, but oh well. So this was my July make for her make along. And then I'm just going to throw in this random project that I made. So back in May, I asked a friend what she would like for her birthday, amigurumi wise, you know, something for her desk. And she said a bear. And I was like, okay, because her school mascot was a grizzly bear. And I was like, do you want him to look real or do you want him to look fake? Like a teddy bear. So she asked for real. And so here is, I have 3 pictures. And this bear, I want to say it's a free pattern. And it was called Bear. And it is by Kim Etheridge. I will link any of the patterns I have down below in case you want to make them yourself. He was fairly involved, to be honest. He had a lot of shaping in him, and I didn't think about it. I forgot to put in his eyes, and so those are just glued in. I'm like, don't yank on the eyes, they'll fall out. But so I put some fabric glue in there and hopefully they'll stay, but I'm like, yeah, leave those. Don't be like, big banana. It ought to be fine. She's an adult, but yeah, so his was a very involved pattern. I was like, I'm ready for some easy things after that. I need some non-thinking, non-counting for a little while, because his feet, 3 different parts that they wanted you to sew on to each other just to make the feet, and the legs, like the feet, legs, 3 pieces. I was like, that's a lot. But he does stand up by himself. He's got his haunches, and his feet do support him, so that was good. I'm glad he's done, because I really put him off. I made the head and the body and the tail, and then I was like, I don't want to do the feet now. Which is why it took me so long for it to get finished. I feel bad about it, but she's very understanding. Okay, I completely forgot. There was one more thing of a make-along that I am participating in. So if you remember back in June, I had started a Carrie Penny make-along, and she was having you work on new stitches or practicing stitches or working on something you've never tried before. So I have an update for my knit shawl, and I am so excited for this. I'm not a great knitter. I know this. I'm very, very baby knitter-ish. I can do very few things, and everyone's like, oh, easy lace. I'm like, oh, so hard, so stressful. So I believe the last time I showed you, it was down here, because I do have this little stitch marker. So that was the first section that I had. And I went up to, let's see. So this is all garter. And then this right here is stockinette. And then you go back into garter. And I put in my first lifeline ever. And I put it in here, and I clipped it all off, and I was like, okay, if I mess up this lace, I will actually frog it and stick my needles back in and use my lifeline. But I didn't need it. This is my first successful lace section. Look how pretty it is. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. I hope you can see it okay. It's right there. I did it! I'm so excited. So then they had you go back into garter stitch, and then they had a section of stockinette, and then they had you do one row of garter and then stockinette. I did 2 rows of garter and then back into stockinette, and I'm gonna do, because it's interesting. Oh, I forgot to tell you the pattern. I am so sorry. So the pattern is called Easy Goes It, and I didn't write it down, so I don't know the person that wrote it. I'll put it up here. That's the author. So when you look at the picture, it has a made item, and they have this section, then the garter section, and then like a couple of rows of stockinette, and then back to garter. Well, they didn't write everything out of the pattern, or like the picture does not say exactly the pattern for the picture. Does that make sense? Okay. Everything's written out that you need to know. It just doesn't tell you step by step what they did as the example. So like it had a stitch or a section for the garter in the middle of the stockinette, but it didn't tell you to do it twice. But if you look at the picture, they have you do it twice. And I'm like, I can do that. So I'm kind of following the picture, and I think this is meant to be like a one skein or one hank project. And I have 3 of these. These are I think it fell out. So this is how much I have of the first skein. But this is sock yarn I got from Premier many years ago. They don't have this anymore. And I cannot find the entrance because it's at the bottom. Oh my gosh. So this is Premier Yarns Wool Free Sock. It is 1.7 ounces, 50 grams. It is 235 yards or 215 meters. It is 93% acrylic and 7% PBT, which makes it stretchy, and it's made in Turkey. This is the color Oceanic. So that is the yarn, and that's the label. So I have 3 of these, and I think I'm about halfway done, but I want it to be big enough, because, you know, who wants a teeny little shawl after I put all this effort into it? And the thing is you increase every row and you decrease every other row, so it's just going to keep getting longer and everything. I wonder if it would look weird if I stopped decreasing and just let it grow. Does anyone have an opinion on that? Or should I keep it going the way it's supposed to? I don't know. I'm not very good at knitting, so I kind of have to ask the people who are better at knitting what I should do, whether I should just continue on with the pattern or should I change it. I kind of feel like I should just stay with the pattern and just keep going forever. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't have the instincts when it comes to knitting that I do with crochet, because I've been crocheting so very long and I haven't been knitting that long. But anyways, so it's in my Queen's Crafts by Bridget bag. I had her make this for me and I love it. But that is it for this section. I'm going to insert this and ta-da! So let's see, I think that was all of the make-alongs that I am currently participating in. And I think that's it for right now. I hope you guys are doing well and having a wonderful day or night or whatever it is. I hope it's wonderful. Bye!